tunes. It's time to listen to this tonight.
These are the words that you inspire me.
We have open voice, 7 to 8. It's time to be tuned in. If you haven't tuned in, tune in, because we have some real live talks tonight. So I can hope you can hear this in the background. We'll be playing good music too. Time to tune in. Put on ICR FM. Yes, it's time to tune in because voices are going to be heard. So check this out. Live topics. Let's see what it's going to say. 107.5 FM. Stay tuned in, but we would like you to put your own radios on. If not, you can listen to this one. I'm going to shut up now. Enjoy the music. This is coming live from my bedroom.
Good evening, welcome to Open Voice. My name is Max Thomas. The tune you just heard was from Rasheen Patterson, Sent from Heaven. What's happening tonight on Open Voice? Well, we've got plenty of music, as you always can tell. We have a guest tonight, Adrian Aspie. He's from the Probation Service. We will also remember last week and the last 2 weeks we've had 2 interviews from the actual Borough Brothers, and this is going to be episode or part 3. It's a bit like, what would I say? It's a bit like Emmerdale, but you're going to love it. It's going to be the Archers. Well, we put it down to the Archers. The Archers have been coming on for many, many years, and this listening to the Borough Brothers episode part 3. Also, we have a review of a play, which we will speak about later on. But first, we will be playing a song for you, Junior Kelly, If Love Is So Nice. Here we go.
There's a man who can't take the botheration, you know. So let the door it hits ya. I wear the good Lord splits you. Brand new music like this, you say you love me and you care, but you never then near. You're always on the run. Now tell me this, why we can't spend no quality time? Kick back and just unwind. You always have something to do. Oh, that simply mean that love you're not true, cause only when you want to me hear you shout I love you. Tell me where all the passion gone, all of the warmth. Tell me where is all of the tenderness. And there is something else that's been bugging me for so long. Tell me this, tell me if love's so nice. Tell me why it hurts so bad. But if love's so nice. Tell me why I'm sad. Me sing again. If love's so nice. Tell me why it hurts so bad. But if love's so nice. Tell me why I'm sad. Me sing again. Well, why if your nails fi do a me, bills fi pay a me, ear fi do a me, and you're making fun of me, and I'm the one with the J.O.B. So baby, why won't you give me some TLC? And there is rumors going around, say when I'm out of town, there is a man where I'm supposed to be. Too late to be begging on your knees. Hand me my keys, and let go off me shirt sleeve. You can go do as you please. You can go talk to John, Peter, or Steve. Because if love's so nice, tell me why it hurts so bad. But if love's so nice, tell me why I'm sad. Me sing again. If love's so nice, tell me why it hurts so bad. But if love's so nice, tell me why I'm sad. Me sing again. No man no want to live a lonely life of that I'm sure. But me nah go say to be less when I know I deserve more. Every day from me best when me love you come a pour it out. You pour it out, and when me ready for some my years, you lock me out and change your route, and then you run your mouth. But you don't know what love's about. Well, I am sick and I'm tired, and I'm sick. I don't want no more of this. Because if love's so nice, tell me why it hurts so bad. But if love's so nice, tell me why I'm sad. Me sing again. If love's so nice, tell me why it hurts so bad. But if love's so nice, tell me why I'm sad. I hear me sing. You say you love me and you care, but you never then near. You're always on the run. Now tell me this, why we can't spend no quality time? Keep back and just unwind. You always have something to do. Oh, that simple mean that love you're not true, cause only when you want me hear you shout I love you. Tell me where all the passion gone, all of the warmth, and tell me where is all of the tenderness. And there is something else that's been bugging me for so long. Tell me this, tell me if love's so nice. Tell me why it hurts so bad. But if love's so nice, tell me why I'm sad. Me sing again. If love's so nice, tell me why it hurts so bad. But if love's so nice, tell me why I'm sad again. Why if your nails fi do a me, bills fi pay a me, ear fi do a me, and you're making fun of me, and I'm the one with the J.O.B. So baby, why won't you give me some TLC? And there is rumors going around.
Well. That was, again, If Love Was So Nice. Want to say a big hi to Dawn. I know she's a bit under the weather tonight and she's not able to attend, be my co-producer tonight, or presenter today. Guys, if you really want to get in contact with us, I'm sure you're going to want to do so. Please look at our Facebook, and it's facebook.com/ICR FM, or Open Voice at ICRFM.com. And tonight's show will be on the Mixcloud after night within the next 24 hours on mixcloud.com/ICRFM. We have tonight one of our guests, well, we have one guest tonight, and the gentleman's name is Adrian Hasby. He's from the actual probationary service.
It's Ashby.
And taking that into consideration, last week there was the conclusion of the actual Tavis case. It's the 26th anniversary of Stephen Lawrence's murder in 1993. The time has gone so quick. On the 22nd of August, we'll be looking at that as being one of the memorial days. Also, we'll be looking at a play that I saw on the 14th of March, which I was speaking about in a few weeks' time, but we're going to touch on it tonight. But we also have with us tonight a gentleman who we're going to start to speak to. I'm going to say hello to him. Introduce yourself, please.
Good evening, Max. My name is Adrian Ashby. Thank you for having me tonight.
Thank you, Adrian. You're from the probation service.
Indeed.
Now, as I said, we just touched on a few little areas which has come up with the topics in the last week or so.
Yes.
And the background of yourself when deciding to go there, as a black man in the probation service, what's the experience that you've got at this present point, at this key time, in this year, what you're actually experiencing?
Well, there's still a long way to go for us as BME, as we are called at present.
Wait a minute. BME, what does that stand for?
Black and Minority Ethnic.
Mm-hmm.
Depending on which side of the fence you are, many years ago, you were an ethnic minority.
Mm-hmm.
Put this down.
The terminology and phraseology has been reversed. But not to digress too far into that this evening, I've been within the law enforcement era for over 25 years now, in different roles, as we've spoken about beforehand, finally ending up at the probation service now. And there is a lot of work that needs to be done for us to be accepted. There are still the invisible barriers that we suffer on a day-to-day basis.
I hear you.
Yeah.
They've actually been turning around and saying after 20, I think it was something was said over 20 years, since 20 years, there's still racism embedded within the metropolitan.
There is
police.
very much so. Yes.
And
so.
and this is where we're trying to have these conversations, have these debates, try to flush out, because we all have to come, and we want to make sure that the police force represents and reflects the community.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
So it's good to have you here, and it's good for you to be a part of it, because you can only work from within.
That's right. That's
Okay.
right.
So what is your job role?
I currently work for the Ministry of Justice in the probation arm. I won't name which particular section for data protection reasons, sensitivity of the work that I do. But in a nutshell, what I actually do is I assist offenders when they commit a crime, they go to court and they're sentenced. You have two options: prison or probation, which is the softer option if you want to look at it like so. You're then you're sent to a probation centre wherever you are, around the country. And then you're tasked with a number of hours, which is your punishment. And my job is to take you to somewhere and make sure that you do the hours that has been given to you by the judge. So for argument's sake, you could be taken to an allotment or a graveyard, and you'd be expected to help out and basically repay the community over an 8-hour period throughout the day. So for argument's sake, again, if you were given 100 hours community service to do, or as it's now referred to, unpaid work, you would then do that, and I would be the person that would be taking a group of guys and girls aged from 18 upwards.
Upwards? What age are you looking at when you say upwards?
Upwards, it's a difficult question to answer, but I'll answer it briefly. I have people on there that are 60 years old.
Okay.
For argument's sake, somebody who loses their licence for some sort of traffic offence could be given community service.
Would you classify these as petty crimes, or would you classify these crimes against?
That I would say yes is petty crimes, but there are more significant crimes that take place, and there's different tiers and different statutes that have to be adhered to.
So I understand that. Let me just, if I can get this right, as I'm playing, say for instance, devil's advocate here, I use this word loosely. If, say for argument's sake, these people have committed these crimes, if say they were sentenced to do a sentence, it would not really do them or society much good for them to go and do this sentence, because the sentence doesn't warrant the crime, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, it makes sense. And
because they've got to come back into society, and it would be more damaged if they'd gone into. Is this
correct,
why they've got this tier?
Yeah, sometimes that does take place. Yes. Also, you have to factor in repeat offenders.
Okay.
Let's use shoplifting as a classic example. You could argue that nobody is being hurt per se, but you as a shopkeeper wouldn't like your stock to be, damaged and stolen weekly, because it's affecting you and your business. But on the same time, the courts cannot impose any further sentence other than perhaps a month in prison, and so on and so on and so on and so on. In many cases, people get custodial sentences, but for shoplifting or prolific shoplifting, the sentence isn't going to be that heavy at all.
So why not have those people who have committed those crimes to go back to a shop, or maybe to that shop, clean their windows, clean their backyards, help with... Why couldn't that happen? And it could be seen to be done in the public view.
It does happen, but that's when you start stepping on the political...
I'm just asking a question.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, it becomes very political then. That's... something that's decided several grades above my...
Okay, I just wanted to know why, if the perpetrator and the victim has to see one another, and you can see the damage you've caused, and you then start to turn around and say, okay, I will repay that by, I'll go and clean his car, or clean his windows, or decorate, blah, 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 and he's not getting paid for it. Sure. But that's just me going out there. I'm just putting that out there.
Yeah, I think perhaps in an ideal world, that would be great. But as you know fully well, it's not always practicable, as they say, to do that.
Okay, so with the work that you do, and you said we've now touched on about rehabilitation. Okay, does prison work in your views? Can I ask you that question?
Yeah. It does work, and it doesn't work. For me, in my experience, it's based on the individual. Some people go to prison for whatever offence they go to prison for, and they will come back and tell you, I'm never doing that again. I hated every minute of it. It's not for me. I want to come out and go on the straight and narrow path, get a job, have my family, and just keep...
Put that behind you.
Put that behind me and strive to be a better person, put something back into society. Other people will, they will go in for 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, come out for a week or a month and fall back into that trap again, whether it be drugs or just an easy lifestyle. In many cases, the people you hang about with, if you're surrounded by such people who are doing such things, the likelihood of you falling back into the trap is all too easy to do.
Okay, so if you're saying to me that it is it can be based on the actual, let's say, company you keep.
Yes.
And the experience and the good or bad experience you have in prison. So there is a good experience you can have in prison.
Yes.
So there's actually a good experience you can have in prison.
There is. I mean, the prison service themselves, which is separate from what I do, but I have some knowledge of it. They do some good work. They have a number of programs that, they try their best to rehabilitate people and prepare them for outside life. But as I said earlier, it's really down to the individual. If you think somebody who perhaps doesn't have what you or I have outside, a home, a car, family around them, and you're committing these crimes, and then you find yourself going into prison as punishment for the crime you've committed. You've left your freedom outside, you've gone into, a custodial situation, spent 12 months for argument's sake, and you come back out. You're coming back out with nothing. So you're no better off than when you went in 12 months beforehand.
Right.
You see? So people will give you some services, but you, the individual, have to want to take that on board and put what you've learned.
Okay then, but you're saying that. But I'm saying that. But if, say, for argument's sake, you went in and you had a lavish lifestyle before you went in, you go into prison for, say, for instance, I'm not saying, I don't know, for a period of time, and you come back out. You've got nothing. And you've got nothing. Your friends you haven't seen for the last, I don't know how many years you've been in prison. I don't know. I'm just looking at these scenarios, and you had the best crep, the best designer, driving a nice whip, and so on and so forth. House was lavish, so on and so forth. You now come out. You've got to do that again. You might even have maybe a baby, 2 babies, blah blah blah. You don't even get a chance to see them. You've been shipped out of town, whatever the case may be. How do you feel? Then you go and think to yourself, because society's changed now, right? So you talk about your benefits have changed. Unless you've got a family and a structure around you, what's the likelihood that you're going to turn around and repeat again? And I'm going to change. I'm going to add that as well as that, especially say, and you of colour.
I would say that the percentage of that is going to be pretty high. I would even go as far as to say 50% and above, which is why we're seeing what we're seeing today. Speaking from my own experience, it's been extremely difficult for me to even get this far. The old adage is, I still have to work twice as hard.
It's there.
It's still there. It's still there. It hasn't gone away. Perhaps
They dressed it up a bit.
It's been dressed up a bit. My father used to tell me certain things when he came here. The names he was called and the things.
Not allowed to do that now.
No, not allowed to do that now. Things put in the window and stuff like that. We don't want your kind here. I will, safely say, even in my time as a police officer myself,
hold on. Police officer. Didn't think you touched on that too much. Let's
So
let's see the job roles that you've done to get to where you are.
I'm
sorry to cut you there, but I want
it's perfectly fine. I started off life after college and some university. I didn't quite finish university, but
can I ask you why?
Why?
Just quickly,
it wasn't for me. The subject I was studying, I was good at one aspect of it and not very good at the other, and that was basically architecture.
Right.
I was, in my opinion, very good at drawing with compasses and set squares and all the rest of it, but freehand art and stuff like that I wasn't very good at. The second thing I wasn't very good at was writing and reading, insofar as that I didn't suffer with dyslexia or anything like that. I just couldn't find
the motivation.
Not even the motivation. That the tutors would say, write a 1,000-word essay, and I'd think, 1,000 words. I could only write, half a page, and I'd be done. I'd run out of things.
Okay, you can pack it out. You can pack it out.
Yeah, and that was it. And I wanted to learn the technical
side of it.
So
you're more a practical person.
Yes, very much so.
Okay.
So that was what happened. So as you can imagine, parents not very happy that was my choice.
Career choice.
Yeah. So you're not going to sit around here. You're going to go and look for a job, sort of thing. And luckily enough, I got a job at the local. In those days, it was the DHSS, which is now DWP, and I actually applied for a job as a admin officer, and I got accepted for the job. And when I turned up, the chap said, "Oh no, I think you have to go upstairs." And upstairs was actually the fraud department,
right?
And I was like, "Oh well, that's not really what I came here."
What
for.
made him say that?
Well, I think there was.
Did you find out?
Well, I think there was a mistake when I got interviewed. I got interviewed, and he had the wrong documentation. So he interviewed me naturally.
Right.
That instead of an admin officer, it was for a fraud officer. So
Right.
and I didn't know this. So when I got there, they were like, "Oh, you're the chap who's going into fraud."
Okay.
So that's where it started from, and we had some interesting times there. I spent about 3 and a bit years there. I left there as a fraud officer, and I moved on to another environment, which was back then the National Criminal Intelligence Service, where I was a criminal intelligence officer. I won't go into much about what I did there, but the title kind of speaks for itself. Right. Few years there, moved on to Lambeth Council, where I was a senior housing investigator there, looking at suspected people
abusing the system.
Abusing the system,
the
same
housing system.
benefits. And after leaving there, that was at a period of time when society was looking for more black and ethnic officers.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
And that's when
What kind of years was that? What year was that?
You're talking about 2002 into 2003.
Okay, yeah, got you in the pocket.
And I joined the police,
Right.
done my training, and went out on the beat, as you do.
Adrian, I'm going to turn, and this is so interesting, there's so much. I'm going to try and do, part of it, listeners out there, we do a mixed cloud, and I'm going to do a longer version of this interview, so you can catch up with Adrian, Ashby, and the roller coaster of life experiences, racism, joys, downfalls, careers choices, and so on and so forth we're going to be bringing in. There's certain things which are going to come up in Ipswich, and we'd like to do a little news flash. Stop and search.
Yes.
Because you're in the police force, there's stop and search. There's a stop and search event happening in Ipswich.
It is called Know Your Rights with ISCRI. That is on the 27th of March, 2019, 6 till 8.
6 till 8, 2 hours. At ISCRI,
Yes.
at St Matthews.
That's correct.
People know that, just down on St Matthews, opposite Tesco's in the town centre. It says on the flyer that you have to make contact to book with a certain person.
It does indeed.
But you've checked, haven't you?
Yeah, I've checked, and it is open for the public to also attend. So I strongly advise that members of the public who are interested in stop and search,
The sus law.
and the sus laws that go with it, should attend. Know your rights. Know what your children in particular nowadays are being stopped for, and for yourself to know your rights, to protect yourself. So that would be my advice to everyone listening.
Adrian, thank you very much.
Thank you for having me, sir.
Okay. We're now going to come up with another tune. OJ's Darling, Darling, Baby.
Queen
Hi there, welcome back to Open Voice. Hi there, Dawn. Hope you're listening in. Hope you're feeling a little bit better. And that track just turned around and said, darling, darling baby. And that's not from you, that's from Nick, before we go any further. I was speaking earlier on about the actual Jump Factory at the Wolsey studio in George Street for one night only, Thursday the 14th of March. Not really well publicised, I would feel. I actually went to there at short notice to have a look at the cast. When you look onto our Mixcloud and our Facebook page, you're going to see some clips on what I'm actually on about, because I really want to get them back into Ipswich. 6 guys. Most of them have had a brush with the law. This play was actually performed in prisons. I won't say which prison. Behind closed doors for families and prison guards. It was such a big success that the producer, if I got it right, I may get this wrong, so I'm not going to, don't hold me to this. The producer had 3 months in prison as well. So he had the experience of some of these when he produced this film and directed this film. And he got a group of lads who've actually been in trouble, behavioural problems, blah, 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 trained them up and brought them into the prisons to spend some time with some of the actual prisoners, to get, even the prisoners were actually showing them what they needed to and the experiences. So it's a roller coaster of emotions. It's about being inside behind bars, being back in the outside world, how prison works for some people and doesn't work for some people, the mental torture and mental health, drugs, the bullying, and so on and so forth, how it affects the structure of a family as well, and how the reason why it's called a Jumper Factory is because you tell your kids, oh, dad's gone away to work away in a jumper factory. So that's where it actually come from. And you're going to hear about this, I would say, in the next couple of weeks. We're going to try and do some of the interviews that I actually done. Let me see where we're going to go from there. We will be looking at the Burrows brothers now. Anybody who's actually been here for the last 2 weeks, have actually seen the Burrows brothers. The Burrows brothers. We were talking about their lives from the Caribbean. But before that, we're going to play one song, Level 31. And then we're going to lead into the Burrows Brothers story episode or part 3.
Baby, I gotta know what's going on behind those eyes. A new waves take the skies, and maybe I'm getting old. No nouveau expectations, loving the old way. Let's just make it. I ain't got time to take the mask off. Give me your feelings, be translucent. Got my touch in your nose, southern cloud, nowhere to go. I love you more, let it be the one before. Why would I be lying? Everyone is still flying. I've had practice, so I know that this phase will last forever. to grow. You got me exactly where you want. This love is too much, I don't feel strong. And you know your energy makes them envious of me. And that's what I like. Wish you could feel what I know is real. And I know I'm dirty one, and you're a stubborn one. The shit is ideal, so this is where you can all catch me. And I know I'm dirty one, and you're the only one, yeah. I promise from me, you can be who you wanna be. I love you more, can it be like the one before? Why would I be lying? Everyone is still flying. I've practiced, so I know that this phase will last forever. I will always never to tell the truth and raise the pleasure.
I'm live. Gosh.
Okay, we're now going to start our next part of our Open Voice show with the Borough Brothers. And the Borough Brothers, what can I say? This is episode 3, part 3. And now they're going to explain to us what it was about, what motivated them to come to the UK, and family values.
I guess they go.
Come to this country. What made you come to England?
The opportunity was open here for us, from people from the Caribbean. People from the Caribbean had it because Britain lost so many people in the Second World War, and they need people to build up their economy. They went to the Caribbean and to the government and said we would like some of your people to come over to England to help build up the economy. That's the reason why we leave home.
So you came over not because you wanted to come over. You came over because you chose. Hey, we're going to help our country.
Yeah, we had the opportunity. We had the opportunity to travel. It's your free will.
Yeah.
Nobody didn't force you to come here.
Yeah,
it's your free will.
Yeah.
So you young. And you want to travel?
Yes, there's opportunity.
And so it's the opportunity for you to travel, you travel.
But you can.
But then, at least to you, if you don't like it, you can go back.
You couldn't go back.
Unless my parents had you to get back.
So let me get this right? This is the beautiful thing. Too far to walk or paddle. Yeah. This is the beautiful thing about it. So they laid out this glorious opportunity for you.
But remember, unless you come over here as a nurse or working on the buses, the railway, or the tubes, they were held over here by the authorities.
Right. How do you mean? So if you were working for one of the actual, say for instance, what would you call it? I can't remember.
The utility
Yes,
companies,
yes.
they will bring you over, then you pay them back.
Oh, you had, wow.
But if you come on your own, everything is on your own back.
You had to pay for your fare.
Yeah.
You get over here.
And find yourself a job.
And
Nobody help you.
And when you're over here, and you find out, hey, this is not what I expected, you can't go back because you borrowed money to get over here in the first place.
No, fortunately for us, we were lucky because my father was always in full-time employment.
Right.
It's my father
Who paid.
that paid.
Right.
But one good thing with the three brothers, one
What was your other brother's name? Sorry, what was your brother's name?
Lionel.
Right.
One good thing is that I had an honest brother. My father give him the pay for his fare to come over here.
Right.
He sent back the money to his dad,
Right.
and that money brought me over here.
Right.
I work and send back the money.
Right.
And the money brought over my other brother.
Okay,
And then he
applaud that.
sent back the money.
So basically, your dad gave the money to Lionel.
Yes.
And Lionel is the oldest brother?
Yeah.
Oldest Lionel?
Yeah.
80? Wow.
88.
88?
Yeah.
Wow, so you're 80,
Yeah.
right? Lionel's 88.
Yeah.
And you're 78. Wow. This is brilliant. I tell you, this is really good for the archives. If you guys, this is a privilege to have you guys talking like this, because that goes to show the honesty, the hard working, the integrity that is going on within a family of brothers here. Okay?
Yeah.
And Dad didn't give you the money to pay him back. He gave it for opportunity.
Yeah.
But
You work and pay back the money.
right, and then he used it to bring.
Then
you
my dad take the same money and pay for my fare for I come over here. I work and send back the money to my father. And my father bring over the money, give it to Harold to come over here. And Harold then work and pay back the money. Then it go back into the main kitchen.
So it's back into the right pot, and that's where we're talking about at the moment. We're talking about the black economy, and we were trying to say, for argument's sake, the black economy, the money in the black community does not even stay in the black community for more than 15 minutes. I may be wrong in that quotation. It might be even less than that, and that's what we're trying to do: circulate that money within our community to build our community. Because now what you're saying to me is, your brother Lionel, he has his own property.
Yeah.
You've had your own property, but you know, and you've helped to build up your daughters.
Yeah.
Right? And your daughter's got a little nest egg.
Yeah.
And now Harold's here to look after his two daughters, right? Three daughters. And this is what I'm talking about. This is fantastic because we need to send this message out to our community.
You can't beat family strength and unity.
Thank you, and I totally with you. So when you're actually turning around and saying, you've got three daughters, and your daughters are qualified ladies, yeah? And I'm going to big them up now. You're going to tell me, what do your daughters do? Because they don't take anything from society. They're putting back into society.
Yeah. Before you go that far, when we came over here, there was something, I think they call it show money.
Show money.
When you came, you come with X amount of money in your pocket. Because why? The English law, the first week you work, you don't get paid.
Right.
So you still had to survive. So I had to have money in your pocket.
Yeah. Money in your
We
pocket.
never heard about any door queue to go and get money.
Right. Show money. So, show money, but what?
Another thing, the British have a false way of thinking about black people. They always say black people come over here and live off the dole. All of us come over here and work and had our own homes. We never lived council houses. We went private. Why?
All your brothers bought your own places.
All of my family over here had their own homes. They bought their own homes. They never went on council flats.
Wow.
We wasn't entitled to council place because why? You was single. You was nobody. You was nobody. You look out for your own self. You know what I say? Turkeys don't feed the young ones.
They've got to look after
You have to look after your own self.
So wait a minute. So when you first came over here, you didn't rent a room?
Yeah, you rent places.
Yeah.
But because you come over here with extra amount of extra cash that you can pay for rent.
Right.
And buy food.
Right. So what made you decide? Because there's a lot of people that I know that came over here who rented and they're still renting now. And they're elderly and they've lost their homes, or they're in care homes, or they've passed away and the family home is gone. But you guys, 3 of you, and you all bought your homes?
Yes.
So did you discuss it amongst yourselves, or was it just happening?
No. It's just that because you grew up in an environment where your parents had their own homes.
Mm-hmm.
If your parents have their own homes, kids always follow suit.
Right.
Because that's a guideline for the offspring, isn't it?
So what you're saying to me is your family, from the get-go, I use the word get-go, set a standard that you guys chose to replicate.
That's it.
Right? So even down to your brother, who came and sent the money back, and you sent the money back, and you sent the money back, and you've invested in your children, you invested in your child.
Yeah.
That is called a replication of what's actually been going on throughout your actual family life.
Yeah.
And that's why you guys are able to sit down in here like this room, nice and easy, nice and relaxed brothers, and just chilling.
Yeah.
Also, the main thing that brought me into this country, I could not fulfill what my dad fulfilled at his age.
Right.
At the age of 25, my dad never left Barbados, had his own house done paid for, and half an acre of land done paid for.
Right.
The only time my dad done flat hours is when he was a bus driver.
Right.
Otherwise, he worked all around the clock to earn his money. He was a chief chauffeur.
Right.
And when the white people going out for dinner, what time they come home? 8, 9, 10 o'clock, he's still around.
Right.
So that is how he earned his money.
Right.
Over time, isn't it?
Over time.
Right.
So that is why at the age of 25,
Yeah.
already had his house down paid for and half an acre land.
Because he
in
put the
Barbados.
time in.
Because he put that time in.
He put overtime in.
You put the time in. You put the hours in.
He put the hours in, and that's why you went to college and studied while doing that, because you saw your dad doing that.
Yeah.
I'm hearing you. I'm
Done
hearing
it.
you. Well, abrupt ending to the actual interview, but we've got one more, I believe, part 4 of the Bowles Brothers to conclude, with some tunes as well, which is coming up hopefully next week. If you really want to get in contact with us, which I know you do, don't forget facebook.com/ICR FM, open voice at ICRFM.com, and remember mixcloud.com/ICR FM, and you pick this up in 24 hours time. So please listen in, and you can catch up on any of the other programs that we've done in the previous 2 weeks. We have Trevor coming up with It's a Mod Life Crisis, and I've got a song for him. You might think I'm being funny, but I'm not. This is straight off from the 60s track, and it's from the Gay
So
Lads.
it's all about listening to the ICR.
Joy in
Have your
Money.
view, open talk every Monday between 7 and 8. Thank you for listening.
Supporting Open Voice. See you next week.
It's Open Voice with Max and Mr. Ashby. Now, make you watch me dance. That's what life's about, isn't it? You bring me joy in the morning.
The evening sun went down all over town.
They're real.
Feeling so blue, just love.
You bring me joy in the morning. That was it. Thank you guys for listening. That was very important. I mean, especially if, you know, they created the ICR, so we could voice our voiceover to the issues that present in Suffolk and worldwide, really. But open doors between 7 and 8 on Mondays, and there'll be various topics that take place. Tonight you heard the criminal aspect of it. Does actually prison do any good for the people that go to prison? Does it actually do any good? Mustn't do any good for their families, because the families actually are kind of doing that prison sentence with them in this side of the land rather than that side of the land. Can you imagine what that actually does to people? You know, so, you know, listening to radio broadcasts like that and having people with expertise, hands-on, they know what they're talking about, it is vital that you kind of listen to that stuff and see where you can help the community and make that difference. I know it's been about an hour that you've listened to, but if it was very worth listening to, there is a message in that. You need to listen to that, especially of people of my own skin tone, maybe darker, who cares? But in reality, you say it's not a race issue. We're the ones that suffered more than anybody, and it still goes on. I am a replica of that. I am mixed racial, I'm diverse, but I've taken some lashes on my back. But we move forward from that now. So we try to find the way forward in life, and we come up with solutions together as a community to see what we can change. Be peaceful, and just help each other and move forward. Reduce the crime. You need to give more time in looking after the community to reduce the crime. Thanks for watching tonight. I know it's been long, it's been drawn out, but you know what? People are putting this out there for a reason. To keep the community safe, keep them educated, keep them up to date with what's going on. Know your rights. Peacefully. God bless you all. You only get one life. Live it. Okay, and pray for those that are mourning right now, and there's been a lot going on, and I just want to say that when these parents heal, I hope they come back fighting for what is right. Just because these people have gone to jail, it's a bloody holiday camp really for them, isn't it? I mean, jail should be like the US of A. That is jail. These people are having mobile phones, they're having everything they want in here. You know, they're having a holiday camp. It's not good enough. Pray over the mothers, pray over the family that have lost their loved ones. You know, whether they're here on earth or whether they're here, you know, they're gone in spirit. Pain is pain. Pain is pain. Loss is loss. We pray for those less fortunate than us. If you don't believe in Lord, that's up to you. You're going to have some faith in something, especially faith in humanity. So, thank you very much for joining the ICR. That was Max and Mr. Ashby. Peace out.